Yes, that music means we are ready to dine. Our food and wine columnist Shiva Reddy is here with us in studio right now to talk about the best ways to enjoy burrata cheese. Shiva, hi there.
Hi,
so good to see you.
Hi, so nice to see you. I missed you so much.
Well, you're a burst of sunshine in a bright yellow top, and you've brought this lovely little bottle of fresh flowers.
Yeah,
I
and
love
parsley. Those are actually parsley flowers coming
Are
from my
they?
garden, like the tall ones. Yeah,
Oh!
and then those are little free runner flowers.
Edible. I could eat
Right,
this.
you
I could
can.
eat this bouquet. I won't do that.
You
I won't do that
can.
while you're sitting in here. But I am so glad you're talking about burrata. It's one of my very, very favorite things. Where do we even begin with better understanding burrata cheese?
Yeah, and like the way you described it just there, like your voice just lowered, and there's just this yumminess to it. So burrata, it is this beautiful soft cheese coming from Puglia. And now whenever we think about cheese and we think about Italy, we think that it goes way, way, way back, thousands of years. This one actually was created in the 30s, so it's fairly recent. Now the exterior of it is kind of firm but gentle. It's made of mozzarella, which is then filled with cheese curds that are combined with cream and a little salt. And essentially, when you cut it open, this soft cow's milk cheese just kind of like oozes out. And I found out that burrata translation means buttery, so just rich, delicious. And the thing about burrata, the reason why it's so special is because it needs to be had fresh. It is literally flown in for you to have that day, and you're basically running against time to try to consume it as fast as you possibly can. This is such a special cheese to Italy that they, like wine, have a designation for it. So Burrata di Andria, Andria being a very specific region in Puglia in southern Italy, that has to be made specifically there in order to be designated as that, just like you would a Chianti from Tuscany.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of restaurants locally will serve burrata as an appetizer or that type of thing. How easy is it to access it as a consumer?
Now, it can be easy. But it's so hard to find the right one. And so you can find it in markets like Whole Foods. I saw it at Costco the other week. I had to buy it because I was just so curious about it. Turned out it was quite tasty. Now, with this, I recommend going to places like Les Amis de Fromage or Chaffee's. Chaffee's located in Burnaby. They actually have, from my research of eating it so much last year, every single week after the farmer's market, I found out that they actually have the freshest one. So it comes in day of or the next day, and it's just fresh Marghella burrata. Now, the thing that you're really looking for, if there's a clear top when you're purchasing the burrata, you want that outside brine to be clear. You do not want it to kind of look murky at all because
Milky, okay,
yeah, exactly,
okay.
because that means it might have ruptured. And there's brands that I really like as well, like the Marghella. That one is probably one of the highly esteemed ones that you'll see in top restaurants here in Vancouver. There's also Maldera. And then the ones that we classically see in places like a Costco or a Whole Foods or a supermarket would be something like Bella Casera as well.
I see. Well, I know I went into Gourmet Warehouse some time ago, and sort of word was out, the burrata has just arrived, because you make a really good point. I mean, it does get flown in, especially from Italy, and fresh is definitely best. You want that really, really fresh feel. So it's like people were saying, get it now. It's never going to be fresher. It's basically fresh off the plane at that point. So it's served you buy it in a container, right?
Yeah.
With the liquid around it, as you say. Make sure the liquid is clear. We've got our ball of burrata. What are some of the best ways to prepare it?
So many. It can be. It doesn't have to be complicated. That's the thing. That's the best part about it. I as simply like it with just good bread that's toasted with some olive oil and flaky salt, and that can be it. And that's so good, so good. Or you can have it with compote. It is so good with different kinds of fruit compotes like peach. You can add some harissa to that as well, and that's so delicious. I love it in a panzania salad, just bright, fresh, crunchy. And it's very important to note that like things like tomatoes, figs, prosciutto. Yeah, you're pointing because you know, Gloria, these are the ones. I love it. These just have such a beautiful affinity to it. And burrata loves salt, it loves acid, and it can handle sweetness as well. And then, those are the ones that I like to have at room temperature or kind of chilled.
Oh, I love that. When you said tomato, because I went with some friends to Tuscany some years back, and that was sort of the even. We'd have a nice lunch somewhere, but you can't do two big meals in a day, or I can't do two big meals
Fair.
in a day. So evening was always like maybe a slice of lemon, a ball of burrata, and some fresh tomatoes.
Oh
And
my
they were,
God.
the summertime Italian tomatoes, and you just said it, some flaky salt, a little bit of olive oil, and that burrata was heaven. It's
Yeah.
heavenly. But we talk about it to this day. Remember, we had burrata almost every single day.
Yeah.
And we never got tired of it either. But obviously, a lot of times it's served as an appetizer. In my case, it was dinner and dessert and everything all wrapped in one. Can you heat it? Can you enjoy burrata with something hot?
Oh my God, absolutely. Now, I had this moment with my partner last night. We made pasta at home. I made this pomodoro sauce and from scratch. It was so tasty with fresh tomatoes and like this oil made with garlic and basil. And we topped it off with burrata. I've had this style at La Quercia when I first tried it there. I went back 3 times that week because it was so good. And I think we just sat there in silence after our first bite, just being like, oh my God, this is so tasty.
Well,
So
again, it's
good.
simple flavors, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely
absolutely.
simple, but the good. So you had a pomodoro, so that's
Yes.
fresh tomato as well. Just super
Yes.
simple, basil, salt.
And that's it. But also, I was at the farmer's market yesterday in Kitsilano. They have squash blossoms now popping up. So you can actually put in squash blossoms with a little bit of garlic, some anchovies, citrus, and tapenade. So good. Crunchy on the outside, kind of molten on the inside. Put it on your pizza. Simple
Love
as
it.
that. Let it spread and just enjoy it with everything.
Right. I'm going to put you on the spot here, but I know you're a very talented sommelier as well. Best wine to pair with that simple dish that you described, the ball of burrata, a drizzle of really gorgeous olive oil, and some flaky salt. What would you drink with that?
Oh my God, you could have anything with it. But right now, in this moment, I want to go to southern Italy. I want to have Pulian wine. I maybe want some like beautiful, rich Fiano, or I want some like Sicilian white that's like searing with minerality too.
I'll take
want
the
it to be
Sicilian
salty.
white.
Let's do it.
Love that. Shiva, thank you.
Thank you.
That's Shiva Reddy, our guide to the world of food and wine.